Welcome back, Psychos. We're still super excited about them filming Psych 3. This is Gus, probably right now because this video will be coming out pretty soon.
I'm so excited for the movie, and I'm wondering how long we have to wait. But we're pretty used to waiting for it, so,
Today, we're going to do the second half of season 4, so episodes 9 through 16. Episode 9, Sean takes a shot in the dark. I really enjoy this episode. My most iconic comes towards the end, and it's Lassiter and Sean talking. And Lassiter says, "Nice shooting, detective." And Sean's like, "Did you just call me detective?" No, but it's one of those really cool, more special moments of Psych between characters. Also, it was pretty epic, his shooting, but obviously he grew up, like his dad taught him a lot of stuff too, and he actually has a lot of skills that I think he doesn't always show.
Right, because he's always playing dumb.
Yeah, or just
being silly.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. My most iconic from this episode is been shot, not LOL. Juliet's like, "What are you playing with that over there?" And at the same time, Gus is running it through his head, like, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" Lassiter says it's blood, and Gus is like, "Been shot, been shot, been shot." Oh my God, Sean's been shot.
Yeah, it's something only psychos would know what it means.
Right.
It's like secret psych code.
I liked between Sean and Gus, I had to tell Juliet that I loved her. Wow, was it awkward? A little bit. Of course, at the time, I was more concerned with not getting shot again. I guess you were just doing what you had to do. The weird thing is, I think she was about to say it back to me.
So my other one is when the bad guy says, "But know this, one stupid move and I've got more than enough plastic bags for your body parts." Sean, note to self, call Hefty with commercial idea.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Even when things are terrible, he has the best jokes. Even when he was just doing it for himself.
Right, because no one else was there.
I think he likes to keep things light so that he doesn't have to freak out as much.
Episode 10. You can't handle this episode. What a great episode, by the way. We learned more about Juliet's interesting family. My most iconic is they're on the base. Sean says, "Major General." Yes. I got nothing. I just like saying that. Those two words in sequence. Major General. Try it, Gus. I don't want to, Sean. Just say it. Major General. And then he smiles. So now whenever I do randomly see or hear Major General, I always think about that. Almost like the Captain Crunch.
Mine is Juliet said, "I said you were prophetic." What? You're prophetic.
That's a good one too, because he doesn't know what it means. My honorable mention is Major General Phelps saying, "I assume you realize that this type of idiocracy will not be tolerated on my base. Is there another type that you would be more comfortable with?"
Episode 11, Thrill Seekers and Hellraisers. Sean, I can't believe you. You brought me all the way down here to get hopped up on bunny love so you could spring this on me and I wouldn't make a scene. Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's working. And then there's the other part that goes with it. Gus, what are you doing? Pick that bunny back up. And Sean, I will not be easily swayed or impressed by the effects of an intense adorability high.
He's so intense. I think he's
Colombian.
I like the line before it as well, or shortly before it, where Gus says, "People say our intense love of bunnies is creepy at our age, but history will prove them to be harmless bastards."
Yeah.
But I love hopped up on bunny love, and anytime I see bunnies or hear about bunnies, that always pops in my head. I like saying it randomly too.
Did you have an honorable mention?
I had two. The first one is the whole episode with the name Samson. But one of my favorites is when Sean's like, "Let me ask you something. What's the first thing that pops into your head when I say Samson?" And Woody says, "A vacuum you can use in space." Thank you. Thank you. And then my second one is, because I'm biased, So because I'm rewatch, I like the line where Gus says, "You can't re-review something, Sean. It's redundant. It's like repeat or reflect." Sean says, "You can if you've already peated and flected once or twice."
I love their little banter with like what words mean or this and that. My honorable mention is when Gus says, "You've never read the Bible, have you?" And Sean, Genesis, Exorcist, Leviathan, do the right thing.
Oh, yes. That's a good one from this episode, too. Episode 12, a very Juliet episode. My most iconic quote is Sean says, "Hello, Mr. Waring. My name is Sean Spencer, well-known psychic detective. This is my associate, Burden Guster. Now you want to use my real name?"
That's my honorable mention.
I like it because, well, he always introduces him in a funny way, but he turns now, and it just seems very fitting. As well as, like, I always kind of remember that there were at least one or two times where he doesn't introduce him as someone else.
Well, it's like when it's more dangerous for him.
Right. The worst time to do it, he does it.
My most iconic is, "Gus, don't be the it and wait for it."
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I kind of like between Juliet and Lassie near the end, and Juliet says, "Are we still on Grease?" Lassie says, "We never weren't." I love the whole conversation earlier when he's actually a confidant, which never happens, and he references it to Grease, and it actually works perfectly, and she's so surprised.
That's awesome. Episode 13, Death is in the Air. For the most iconic, I went with a one-liner from Lassiter. He says, "I'm not big on nude handshakes." Because who is?
Well, yeah, no, that's totally a good one. And it's actually from the scene that my iconic comes from. So, are you frozen?
No, I'm waiting for you to hold up your...
All right. Just making sure. From the same scene, I like that whole scene is perfect. But I love that like Sean is enjoying the shower and it's Lassie says, "Spencer, are you shampooing your hair?" "Yes, I am, Lassie. I always travel with a small packet of Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo in my wallet." Baby shampoo? No more tears, Jules.
I do have an honorable mention. Gus talking about Sean. "He has an irrational fear of Patrick Dempsey. It's very rational. It's rational. Either of you watch Grey's Anatomy? The man is completely terrifying." Jules, "You're just jealous of his hair." Well, there's that. And Gus, there's only that.
So my honorable mention is Sean and Juliet near the end when he's trying to tell her, but he doesn't know how to tell her how he feels. But he's telling her, "Okay, well, there were two kinds of kids. There's a kid who flipped the box over and opened it up from the bottom and grabbed the prize right away. And then there was the kid who waited patiently and ate bowl after bowl of cereal until the prize just tumbled out on its own. There was also a third kid named Mikey who will eat anything, including the prize, but he's not really important right now." And she's like, "Okay, and I didn't wait. I didn't wait for my decoder ring or my Frankenberry action figure when I was a kid. So what am I waiting for now? All I know is that I don't want to miss out on the prize." Episode 14, Think Tank. I'd like to introduce myself and say very impressive work. "Thanks, Walt, Sean Spencer. This is my partner, Burden Guster." Or should I say Guy Buttersnaps or Lavender Gooms or Clementine Woolly Socks, perhaps? Wow, that guy really is a fan. Fan or stalker, Guy Buttersnaps was set on a secure military base with no one else around. Let's just say I've been following your work for quite a while.
My most iconic is "Come on, son."
Yeah, that's an honorable mention. Don't Mr. Ed Lover me.
Yeah, as Gus says, "Do not do Ed Lover on me, Sean." And this is the first "Come on, son." So I had to give "Come on, son" most iconic because it's one of the most iconic, even though they stole it from Ed Lover. It's still one of the most iconic from Psych. But it didn't start till this episode, and then I think it took a while before they started using it a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's definitely more iconic than mine, but that's okay. So I also like Sean Because I'm a psychic, I'm also an inventor. It's a pillow that combs your hair while you sleep. I love all his little inventions that he wants to tell them about.
Episode 15. The head, the tail, the whole damn episode. It's when Sean says, we're one and the same. We're chassis now. We're Charlton. We're Spencer.
That is a good one. And I took from that same section, but that was my honorable mention. I went with, so I kind of summarized it, but Spencer, one loose end doesn't make a foul play. It doesn't? How do you think we've stayed in business these last 4 years? And then shortly after they say that, and I love the chassis reference.
Chassis.
Chassis.
you have trouble saying that one.
I can't even say it. I can type it, but I can't say
it. That's awesome. I have an honorable mention where Gus says, I want you to call me Guts. We all call you that. No, Guts, Sean.
That was good. And then he ends up puking later in the episode. For my honorable mention, it's Henry saying, wait a second, are you working with Detective Dipstick on this? You're calling him that now too? I tried not to. It just rolls right off the tongue.
For last.
Episode 16, Mr. Yen presents. Look, Mary, I know that Yang was a big part of your life, but she is behind electronic gates now and she can't hurt anyone anymore. Yang wasn't working alone. You didn't give racquetball a fair shake, did you? I will not wear short pants, Sean.
That was my honorable mention. My most iconic is more of a dramatic special moment. And Twin Laster says, I'll be going to get my partner now.
That's definitely iconic.
Definitely just like the relationship of Laster and Juliet. And he didn't care what else was going on. He was going to go get his partner and make sure she was saved.
No, that's definitely iconic. And it shows how close they've gotten, even though he pretends like he doesn't like her, other times. But they're partners,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's super important to him.
So I also liked, there was a guard that says to them, it's a preventative measure. She gets overly stimulated by colors. And Gus says, what about my face?
That is the classic one. Oh, is it where she also says, like the ball rolls away and she's like, come back, Reginald? That
was good.
Ali Sheedy's really good as Yang.
She made that character great.
Thanks for watching Psychos. We hope you enjoyed our most iconic quotes from season 4, episodes 9 through 16. Next time we'll talk about the first half of season 5, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks for watching.